Hello, hello. I'm almost here. Hi. How are you? Carolyn, I see that you're here. And Carol, good morning or good afternoon or whatever it is, whenever it is. Hi. How are you doing? And whoever else is here, hello. I know that there's some people that are joining me now that are new or trying out class. So welcome if that's you. Yeah. So I was just telling my husband that, oh my gosh, I get to go and work on being strong right now. Strong physically, strong mentally, emotionally. It's so amazing to me how easy it is to not do things, how easy it is to not go on walks, to not take care of yourself. It's crazy. It's almost like putting in that effort to keep your body strong, your muscles, your bones. And the thing is that if you're over age 30, which almost everyone is that I ever come in contact with, although I guess that's not true. I do come in contact with younger people and I do see it happening there. There's a degenerative process that's happening in our lives. And then depending on what we're eating and what we're thinking and what life is presenting to us today, all of that contributes to even more of that, more bone loss, more of all the things that happen. So we need to show up. We need to take care of ourselves. Hi, Steve. I see that you're here. That's what matters. Love it. I just love it, Steve. It makes me so happy. I'm going to think of you right now. And those that I do know, so I can think of you. Okay. And how do you know it's your trapezius? It could be your rhomboids, could be your rector muscle group. It could be your traps too. So she's saying that her traps are tight, her upper back. All right, Carolyn, well, what I have in store for us today actually will be really helpful for that. So I find that it usually works that way. I'll ask what's going on and people will tell me, but to be honest with you, even before I come to class, I have a plan of some sort. And then it seems like the issues we're having are often what people seem to want or need. Hi, Sharon. Nice to have you. And Stevie, good morning. All right. So, if anybody else wants to chat, do it now because when I go back there, I can't see. I can actually tell that you're chatting, but that's about it. So if anybody else wanted to say what's going on or say hello, or if you're new, if someone's here that's never been here before and you want to say hi or let me know about some issues you have in your tissues, that would be good. And if not, that's fine too. All right. So let's go into our practice, right? Okay. So for today, I have planned a lot of structural strengthening work. So we're going to work on muscular and bone strengthening in terms of our structure. So a lot of today's practice will be on the ground. It'll be on all fours, on our belly, on our back. And as always, you might not be able to do what I do. It's not about looking the way that I do it. I will show you the posture and the way that the posture should look in your body for safety. And then the depth of how far you go, like how far your arms move away from your body, how far your legs move away from your body, or how much you bend your joints is determined by you and what's going on in your body. Also, if you have something you're nursing today, it might be different than yesterday. Today might have more energy, less energy, or issues that you're nursing. You need to take care of yourself. Show up today and do the strongest, safest practice you could do for your body, for your muscles, for your bones, and make sure it stays in the place of safety. So you don't poke the monster or do anything that could stimulate or like trigger something that is not good. Okay. So with that said, you're gonna need a block and a strap, and you're also gonna need a blanket, and then maybe there's other things you know you need. And so if you do know you need something else, go ahead and get that. And I'd like to begin today on our backs because the ground can actually be very good for postural correction and correcting the curvature of the spine. And that's really important when it comes to bone health, because when you're off alignment in your joints, your body uses the minerals that are stored in the bones for protection. So joint alignment is huge when it comes to bone density. And I hope to be raising your awareness to that. And so we're gonna start off with good alignment. We're always gonna work towards having good alignment in the practice. And then we're gonna strengthen the muscles in the proper alignment position so that we can remain in good alignment to keep the minerals in our bones. Okay, so you're gonna come down onto the ground and you're gonna come to the side, reach your hand away and bring yourself on to the ground. And then you're gonna start to get that alignment. We are going to use the block today on our belly for a little bit of reference of deep belly breathing, which helps to manage the stress aspect of bone health, right? Stress is one of the pillars that contributes to bone density loss, and the first pillars we need to work on managing to stop losing bone. All right, so what you're going to do here is you're going to make sure first that the blanket is only underneath your head and maybe your neck, but not on your. You're gonna take your arms in the ground, you're gonna lift your rib cage away from the floor, slide the shoulder blades closer to the center of your back. And that may actually show up in your low back. So pay attention to that, keep your knees bent. And so placing the shoulder blades, flat bones on the ground, arms are alongside your body. Then you're gonna push your feet into the floor, lift your pelvis up, tilt your pelvis backwards. So it's a slight tilting, so that when you do place your body back down, try to get the low back to touch before the pelvis. So that's a pretty strong tilt in the pelvis. And then when you place your pelvis on the ground, let the top part of your pelvis make connection with the ground. And then feel the sacrum, which is the base of your spine, making connection. If you close your eyes, go into a place of feeling. So you start to learn more about your body so that you learn how to place your body throughout your day. Where are you placing yourself? Where are you holding yourself? And let's let the hands be on the belly for a second. Feet are wider than the body, knees move in towards each other. I'd like you to feel the points of connection here. Feel the left foot down and then the right. Allow the knees to fall in towards each other. So feel your knees falling in and supporting each other. Then bring your awareness to the sacrum, or the pelvic area. Sacrum is the base of your spine. So feel the weight of your body in your pelvis. See if you could let it be soft, let it release, noticing what you notice here. Then bring your awareness to your rib cage, the shoulders right behind the heart, and feel the weight of your body, noticing what you notice here. Then bring your awareness to the left arm. Left arm is alongside the body, so feel the upper arm bone resting on the ground. And then feel the right side, the right arm, the right upper arm bone resting. Becoming very body aware. Bring your awareness to the neck, which is not touching the ground. Maybe you have it supported by a blanket. Just notice that. Then feel the head, the heaviness of the head, the back of the head, supported. And feel all the support. Feel how the ground supports your weight as you let go. and allow the muscles that work so hard to hold you upright and so hard to keep that joint alignment when you're standing or sitting. Let them rest. Let them stop contracting, stop working. And these next few exhales, keep your mouth closed. Exhale, contraction, muscular contraction. So with each exhale, think of release, release, release. And let your awareness go up and down your body to try to turn off another muscle, another muscle, another muscle. And bring your awareness to your block. Go ahead and get your block, place your block on your tummy. So below the low ribs, let your hands rest so you could keep them down alongside your body, or you could bend your elbows and let the backs of the hands rest on the ground. And if you'd like to raise the upper arm bones or move your arms into a position so you feel a little stretch in the chest area or the shoulder area. Whatever you can do to feel the comfort in your body, just feel that. And as if you were looking at yourself, noticing what you notice here, your breath, your body. Let your body be heavy. If you feel any tension in your low back, press the sacrum, the very base of your spine, the top part of your pelvis, press that into the ground pretty strongly. That'll help to correct the low back curve, take away a little bit of that tension, maybe, in your low back area. Keep the mouth closed. Let the back teeth be separated. Breathing in through your nose. Feel the breath enter your body through your nostrils. And begin to bring your breath deep so that the block moves with your breath. So keep your awareness down in your belly. And most blocks are pretty lightweight, so it takes a lot of awareness to feel that you're moving the block up without looking, more about feeling. Bringing the breath down to the low belly. And let's take 5 deep breaths down to your low belly. Try to feel as much as you can in your body. So keep your mind in your body. If you notice your mind pops back up to your head, drop it back down into your body by feeling The block rising and falling with breath. And then finishing up your last breath. Let go of the breath. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Keep your eyes closed. Reach down and grab the block with your hands. Then walk your feet closer together. Bring the left knee up and bring the right knee up towards your heart and put the block in between your knees. Then place the arms back down on the ground. Keep the knees pretty high, like all the way up by your heart. Closing your eyes. Slowly allow the knees to fall towards the left. You're moving towards the floor and you're going to arrive at the floor. So keep going, eyes closed so you know that you're safe to move in this movement until you get all the way there. And then you may need to adjust the block. So you may need to take the block a little bit lower to support the calf and the ankle joint. Or if your upper right back is far away from the floor, you may need to put your block underneath your knees. And you need to be careful here because it depends what's going on in your body, what your issues are. So this is a twist. This is the lower body moving, keeping the upper body straight up. This is going to strengthen your spine bones. And you need to be careful with those of you with issues in your body. That's why I like your eyes closed. I like you to feel your way into what feels safe. Using the block to either support the legs, so that it's in between the legs and the floor, or in between the legs. And then for those of you that are pretty bendy, that don't have very many issues in your body and you have a lot of flexibility, you may not even need a block. So use whatever you need. The goal is to try to keep the right shoulder blade on the ground and the knees are to the left. So depending on how much motion you have in your body, how much flexibility in your muscles, the connective tissue, the joints. So do what's appropriate here. Warming up the rotational muscles, the trunk muscles. Deep breaths down to your belly. And the eyes are closed so you could feel what is safe for you. And where do you feel the stretch? Bring your awareness to the right waist area because the legs are to the left. So bring your awareness to your right waist and push your pelvis away from you with your mind and with the muscles in your body so you create more space in your right waist. Now, these are all body movements, and it may take a while to develop that much awareness to be able to move these parts of your body, to actually communicate with the muscles that correct pelvic position, because there's a lot of correcting pelvic position here. So maybe you're able to feel this, maybe not. What you want to make sure is you're using the block to help safely support the legs as they move towards the left. Let's take one more breath here. And then in order to come back to center, I want you to hold on to the block and move one leg at a time. So first bring the right knee up pretty high. And then allow yourself to let the left leg come up and for you to rock onto your back. Let's put the feet into the ground. Lift your pelvis off the floor so you reestablish neutral in your spine. And then take the block in your right hand. Bring your knees one at a time towards your chest. Bring the block in between the knees. I like to move into the twist with this, and then you can position yourself when you're there. Arms are to the side, and slowly with the eyes closed, feel your way into a safe twist for your body as your legs move to the right. Try to keep that left shoulder blade on the ground if you can. It's a safety valve for the left shoulder to move away, depending on where you may have tightness or issues in your tissues. So begin with the block there, or you may need to take it out right away and put it underneath your legs, in between your legs and the ground if you have a lot of tightness in your body,
or protection that you need to protect. Or you could take the block a little lower so it's down by your ankle joint. That may help to give a little bit of support. Or you may be able to take it off completely. You can hold on to the top of your left thigh with your right arm. And left arm is to the left. Back of the hand is on the floor if you can. And find some variation of this, whatever that means for you. And then reaching your arm nice and long. Feeling your way into a safe twist, creating space between your pelvis and your rib cage. That's one of the measurements for spinal fractures, is to see how far away the top of your pelvis is from your lower ribs. And it's one of the ways that spinal fractures happen is tightness in the body here. So we're trying to create space in the middle or the lower part of your body, in between your rib cage and your pelvis. That's what we're trying to do here. And if the eyes are closed, I want you to safely feel your way into what is a safe rotational force for your body. I am often asked, is it safe for me to rotate if I have osteoporosis? The answer to that question is yes, it is. And you're going to hear a lot of no, it's not. So Dr. Fishman will tell you, yes, it is. He specializes. He's a doctor specializing in osteoporosis work. And there's a study done on spine bones to show that rotation strengthens the bones more than anything else will. However, it matters that you are safe when you rotate. So if you rotate with flexion and you put extra pressure on the front of your spine when you rotate, no, that's not safe to do. But it is possible to be safe and do spinal rotation if you have osteoporosis. You need to learn how to safely do it. So being in your body is one of the ways to make sure you're staying safe. Deep breaths here. Take 2 more breaths. At the end of that second breath, you're going to bring one knee up first. Take your block out to the side if you have the block there. Bring the other knee out. Put your feet on the floor. Lift your pelvis up off the floor. And then draw one leg in and then the other. Draw your knees into your chest. Rock your low back onto the ground. So we're going to warm up the body first. Do some more of the postures to support joint function, joint alignment, and joint stability. Because that's what's important to keep the minerals in the bones, and also to have all of that when you create weight-bearing pressure to stimulate bone growth. Let's come into a fully outstretched body. If your shoulders don't let you put your arms overhead, put them out to the sides and try to point your toes to the ground. Try to reach your fingertips to the back wall. Take a big breath here. Stretch your body gloves. So really feel stretching happening in your tissues. And then flex your wrists so the heel of the hand is reaching up towards the wall behind you, and the heel of your feet, the soles of your feet, are reaching to the wall away from you. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Pull your ribs away from your pelvis. Create space in your midsection. Create space for that lumbar spine and thoracic spine and the area where most fractures from osteoporosis occur in that part of your body. Create that space. And then let's go ahead. Bend your knees, take the block, put the block underneath your pelvis. Let the top edge of your pelvis touch the block. Let your sacrum roll towards the edge. And then take your legs one at a time. Keep your arms down alongside your body at first, actually. Let your shoulder blades slide towards the center of the spine. Take one leg long. Now you're stretching your psoas and you're stretching your body beyond its range of motion. So make sure you're feeling okay. If the low back doesn't like this, push the heart up towards the sky. Push the upper part of your back into the ground. That'll help to support. And then let's see if you could take the other leg straight. So if this may be okay for your body, may not. You don't have to do everything that I'm doing. Really trying to create straight space here in the low ribs and top pelvis, in this part of your body and in the front of your spine. If you could take your arms overhead, take your arms overhead. Stretch, stretch, stretch your body. And breathe to your belly. That'll help the stretch. And if you're looking at this and saying there's no way I'm going to do it, then that's your body telling you you shouldn't do it. There's other ways to stretch. You don't have to be so severe as this may be for some. Take one more breath. And then let's take your block out to the side. Let's warm up the body. Take the arms to the side. When the arms are to the side, the backs of the hands should be touching the ground. So don't have the hands too close to your body. You want your hands a little bit farther away from your body. Take the feet to be the distance of the mat. Let's start to do a little bit of side to side. Don't go too big first. Go kind of slow here. Warming up the hips. This is also going to create more space in the midsection of the body, from the lower to the upper body. Then start to go a little bit farther. It's not about pushing your legs to the ground. You're just moving side to side. You're not trying to get to the ground. You want your kneecap, the top of your femur bone, to be what moves the most. You want that to make a nice arch, like a rainbow or an arc. Bring yourself back center. Take your feet off of the mat, either all the way or keep your heels on. And let's go a little farther with the legs here, making sure that when you come down, the stretch that you feel in your quads is appropriate, the stretch that you may feel in your midsection is appropriate, and that you're not poking the monster or anything in the back of your body for those of you with back issues, and even those of you without back issues. So get very aware of what's safe for you to do. Right now, you're adding rotation to where the low back and mid back meet. There's rotation in the rotational muscles at the back of the body. You're stretching the hip flexor muscles, the psoas, which is your deep filet mignon. It's your muscle that connects your upper and lower body. The next time your legs go to the right, leave them there. Take your left arm barely off the floor and diagonally reaching as far as you can away from you. Let your head move to the left as well, opposite of the knees, and reach your hand. So flex your hand, reach the heel of your hand. Maybe you feel a stretch underneath the armpits, the side of the body. Maybe you feel it in front of that left hip or on that left thigh. Wherever you feel it, feel it. Push your heart up towards the sky. Take deep breaths here. One more breath. And then relax back to center. Let the knees come back up. Slowly allow the knees to find themselves over to the left. Once they arrive, let go. Take your right hand, reach it barely off the ground. Flex the wrist. Reach your right wrist away and stretch your right side body as much as you can. Feel what feels appropriate. Try to create space between the right lower ribs and the right top pelvis, with your muscles inside your body and with reaching your right arm away and pushing your right leg away. So create as much space in your shoulder joint, your hip joint, and your spine as you can. That's what you're doing, creating space. One more breath. And then go ahead and bring yourself back to center. Bring your feet into a neutral position. So do a little marching so they go where they go. And then push your feet into the floor. Lift your pelvis up. Let your pelvis go back down. Draw in your left leg. Bring your left leg in and straighten your right leg. Let's go a little deeper with stretching the body. If straightening the right leg doesn't feel appropriate, keep that knee bent. And then draw that knee in as much as you can towards your head So you feel maybe tension where you're bending your knees or bending your hip, adding that deep flexion in the hip and the knee. And then hold on behind the thigh. Let's do a little inhale and exhale, unbending and bending your knee. Then let's come to a straight position if you can. Straighten the leg if you can. Not everybody can, but it's come towards straight. So you're going to push the back of your thigh into your hams to try to unbend that leg. Point your foot, flex, point, flex. Be really strong here. So you should feel a lot of pulling and a lot of stretching in the top of your foot when you point and in the calf area when you flex. And then strong circles. Not just doing the circle, you're going as big as you can. And then in the opposite direction. Keep that ankle joint nice and limber for fall prevention. And then bend the knee, like hold on to the knee, left hand, take the right hand out to the side. And then open your knee out to the side pretty high. So have it pretty high, open it out to the side. Don't let your right pelvis fly off the ground. One more. Then take a hold of your kneecap and do a little circular pattern. You're not going to go that far, right? It's not going that far, but you're going to feel some stretching in your body. Go the opposite direction. Try not to let the rest of your body move. Let it only be that leg. And then go ahead and put that foot down on the ground. Let's take the right leg, draw the right knee in, hold on behind the shin, slowly lengthen the left leg. If it's not appropriate to lengthen the left leg, bring it back into a bent position and draw that right leg closer towards your body, trying to compress the right side of your body. So the intention of our practice is to create bone building stimulation by pulling or pushing on the bones, right? Pushing them into each other or pulling on them. That's what we're doing, increasing range of motion in our joints, stretching our body to create better receptivity of our balance receptors. That's all the stuff that we're doing here in this class. Now, for compression of the abdominal area, like we're doing here with the thigh, this could be great for digestion, which is also really important for bone health, is digesting, absorbing, and assimilating your food. Let's go ahead, hold on behind the thigh, and then we're going to unbend and bend. Try to go as big as you can. So go into a stretch that's appropriate for you. So this is the first time we're doing this. And unless you were doing something before you came here, you're probably going to be feeling tightness in your body, regardless of how flexible you are. Because it's just starting, right? You're just starting to secrete the fluids. Come to a straight leg if that's appropriate for you. Push your back of your thigh into your hands. And then let's warm up that foot, pointing strongly, flexing strong. Point and flex. And then circles. Really nice, slow circles. Think about that great balance you're going to have when your ankle joint is able to tell what surface you're on and communicate that to your brain so your muscles turn on to stop you from falling or tripping. Let's go the opposite direction. And then go ahead and bend that knee. Take your hand on your leg. Let's open that leg out to the side. Keep the rest of your body stationary. So it's only the leg bone, only this upper leg bone, the femur bone, a very important bone for us to focus on if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia. This bone, the top of this bone, very precarious if it fractures. So we're going to be pulling and pushing on this joint, the hip joint, to make it as strong as it could be and to make it as receptive as it could be if we do trip or stumble. Bring yourself back up center. So it's a ball in a socket. Roll it around in the socket. Only the leg is moving, not the whole body. So your pelvis is not rocking back and forth. Try to make it just be the leg and go in the opposite direction. So all that we've done so far, all this warm up, all of this somatic grounding coming from the place of thinking to the place of feeling, all of what we've done so far is pro bone health. This is all good stuff for your bones. Going to make you a better balancer, communicator, and keep that great dance and play in the joints that's necessary for fracture prevention. Let's go ahead, bend the knees. Let's start to work on some of the first postures. Let's do the stretching postures of the legs. So let's take the strap. Let's do the left leg first. Draw that left leg in. Take the strap in the center of your arch, slightly towards the toes. Hold on to the left strap with the left hand, the right with the right. Then slide your hands down closer to your body and wrap your hands around your strap. Pull your strap down to deeply root that leg in the hip joint, and then straighten the right leg if it's appropriate for you. Firm up the left leg by hugging the bones with the muscles of the left leg, especially the upper thigh, and no bending your knees. We want to pull on that real strong in the floor. Take an inhale, exhale, and let's go into the movement by contracting your muscles, pushing that top thigh away and pulling the leg towards the wall behind you. So push away with the muscles and pull towards the wall behind you with the hands and the strap. Nice opposing force. Be really strong, super strong. 30 seconds of strength. You could do it. And of course, if you need to come out, come out. Last breath. Let's move into our next leg stretch on this side. Take the strap now on the left hand, slide your hand down closer to your body, elbow out to the side. Keep your leg up pretty high. That's what matters. When you go out to the side, it's to the side and not forward. So don't let your leg go forward. If you go to the side and your leg wants to start going forward, you need to stop and go back to where you were. This is a lateral movement. If you need to support the weight of your leg, if you don't have a lot of flexibility and you can't go that far and you want to support the weight of your leg, you could do that with a block. All right, let's firm up the muscle, keep the leg straight, and let's enter in stretch. Keep that right pelvis on the floor. Go as far as you can. Keep your left top thigh as far away from the right top thigh as you can in this spread leg position. Firm up your core by pushing your belly button to your spine to support your pelvis. Stay here. Feel that stretch on the inner thigh. Last breath. And then bring your leg back up to center. Let's bring the right foot up, go to the next side. Take the strap in the arch. Slide your hands down. You're holding the right strap with the right hand, left with the left. Slide your hands down, wrap your hands around the strap and pull the strap down to root the leg into the ground. So really firm, and straighten the left leg if that's appropriate for you. Begin by firming up your muscles of the upper right thigh, pushing the right upper leg bone away, and let's begin into the stretch. Pulling back towards the wall and pushing away. Make sure you breathe long, slow breaths. Firm up your right thigh and pull the leg towards the wall behind you. Lots of pulling at the back of your thigh, right by your pelvis. Pull on your pelvis so it'll get strong for you. Last breath. Let's release. Let's go out to the side. So take your hand, right hand in the strap, slide your hand down the strap, elbow out to the side, left hand to the left, and then lengthen, lengthen, lengthen into this stretch. Out to the side. Keep your leg to the side the whole time and really stabilize that left pelvis. Keep the left top thigh as far away from that right thigh as you can as you move your leg to the side as far as you can. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and bring yourself up. Bring both feet up. Take your feet in the strap. Your feet are about 1 foot apart, or maybe about 8 inches apart. Straight legs is what we want. So for some of you, it may be too hard to get straight legs, so you may have to have a slight bend. Would be preferable if you could work towards straight legs. Push your pinky toe edge into the strap and draw the legs behind you. So doing both legs at the same time. Push your pelvis into the ground. So really push the sacrum into the ground. Push your pelvis into the ground. Push into the pinky toe edges of the straps and draw the legs towards the back of your head. Feel that strong pull right at the base of your pelvis. Try to really push the pelvis into the ground, not letting it rock too much. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and bend your knees. Take the strap off to the side. Bring the knees into the chest. Rock side to side. Let's go into our bridge posture, strengthening our spine by pushing the very back part of your spine bones into each other. So you want to get as much of a back bend in your spine as possible when you do this. You're going to take the blanket away from the back of your head. Take the block in between your knees. And then arrange your shoulder blades closer to your spine. So lift the upper back off the floor, shoulder blades closer to the spine, and then lift your head off, lengthen the back neck, tuck the chin down towards your chest. And then walk your feet closer to your body, squeeze your block here. Elbows are bent, upper arm bones are on the ground to help support the weight of your rib cage. Squeeze your block and then tilt your pelvis so your low back presses into the ground. Squeeze your tushy, squeeze your block, and let's peel your spine up, 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 away from the ground. Feel the weight going into your upper back. Feel the spine back bending. You could use your arms here. You could use your feet here. Squeeze the block. Use your tushy. Close your eyes. Feel that strength in the back of your body. Deep breaths through the nose. Take one more breath. When you come down, put one spine bone at a time onto the ground. Come down, come down. Try to let the low back touch first by lifting your heels off, tilting your pelvis backwards and allow the low back to touch the ground. Go ahead and take your blanket out. Put your blanket, back behind your head and the block out to the side. Bring your knees into your chest. So I quite often hold that posture a little longer. I find it to be one of the most beneficial postures because it also strengthens the glutes and the legs, which is really important for balance, for posture, for alignment, for fall prevention, for healthy aging. So you can see why I focus on holding that a little longer. Let's roll onto our side. Using your hand. Oh, actually, stay here. Come back onto your backs. Let's do a holding twist here. So this is a little challenging. Let me show you this one here. This one here, we move to the side and we hold our legs in a hovered position for 30 seconds. If you have quite a bit of strength, you could try to hold straight legs. I think that actually in the full expression of this pose, it might even be that the legs are like all the way over. And I think when Dr. Fishman showed us this one, I think he was doing this posture. like that. So for our purposes, for most bodies, even for my own body, I prefer to do a hovering like this. This is going to strengthen the core and the rotational aspects of the body. So be careful here. We've done a lot to warm up this part of our body. This is where we're going to be now muscularly, which is part of that is core. So there's a lot of core strength here. So let's have the blanket back behind your head. We'll go to the whichever side you'd like first. It doesn't really matter. Let's draw the knees into your chest. And then in a tabletop position, take a big inhale. As you exhale, bear hug your lumbar spine with your core and then roll to one side, hovering your legs. Whether your knees are bent or not, it's up to you. And you could go a little higher towards your chest if you need to, or you could stay right in alignment with your pelvis. So appropriate for your body. Hug your lumbar spine. Keep pushing the belly towards the spine. Feel that nice strong core support as you let your body weight go to the side and you need to support legs away from your body like this. One more breath. And then draw your knees in, draw them in for a second. Take that tension out of your body. Let your legs go up to the sky, let them fall into the sockets. And then come back center. We're gonna go to the other side. So take your arms out to the side, take a big inhale. As you exhale, bear hug your lumbar spine, really contract your core as you bring yourself out to the other side. Either knees are bent or straight, whatever is appropriate for you. Or bend your knees more, you could do that. Hug your lumbar spine, activate your core. Last breath. And bring yourself back to center, draw your knees into your chest. When I had my hip replacement, I could not do this posture at all. I couldn't even let my legs go to the side, let alone adding bent legs. So I'm proof that you can get stronger every day, being safe and doing small movements and building up strength along the way. Now let's go onto our side. Let's push ourselves away from the ground. Let your shoulder lead the way in your head. And bring yourself onto all fours. Take your blanket to support your knees. Come onto all fours. Come onto all fours so that your pointer fingers are pointing forward. We're going to come into a plank. You could come into the full plank or the modification of plank, or come down onto your forearms if you need. So take your hands directly underneath your shoulders, point your fingers forward. Take one foot back so that all 5 toes touch, and then lift the other leg off so that all 5 toes touch. Push your body weight back. You may feel your calves here. Push your feet into the floor, push your hands into the floor. I'm going to do this one for a minute, but I will tell you at the 30-second mark for those of you that want to do that. Be as long as you can from tailbone to the crown of the head. So be in your spine, find that length in your spine. 30 seconds for those of you that want to come down. For those of you that want to stay up here with me. If you want a little more challenge, you could lift one leg off at a time if you'd like. Focusing more on one side at a time. And only doing what's appropriate for you. Safe and strong is the goal. Lengthen yourself, last breath. And then go ahead and bring yourself down. Let's all come up here, shake this. Let's do a posture that's not a posture, but let's do something that is specific to osteoporosis, which is strengthening the wrists. So take your wrist, do a little shake, 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 and then circles. And then hands are together, circle, circle, circle. Okay, we're going to twist our wrist. We're going to twist the wrist so that we're pulling on the bones to create more bone building in our wrist joint. So we get stronger in this area here. So the way you do this, you want to make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. No shoulder earrings.
So take your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. So you can see that they can move up, they can move back, and they can move down, right? So bring your arms forward, thumbs are up, palms face each other, and you're gonna slowly turn your palms downward. So palms go down, backs of hands face each other. Take the left wrist on top of the right wrist and clasp your hands. And then notice if you became shoulder earrings, that happens. Lower your shoulders. Now lower the arms, start to bring the hands closer to your body, start to bring the hands up and through. You create the level of intensity that you want. You either let the elbows go out to the sides or you bring the hands down lower, whatever you need to do to create more pull, safe pull, of course, on the wrist. You can let your neck go side to side. If you're feeling some tension there, a little extra bonus. One more breath. And then we're going to slowly unwind. So that was left wrist on top, a lot of stretching, pulling and stress, appropriate stress on that left wrist. Let's do the right. Shoulders are forward, they're up, they're back, and they're down. Hands are forward, palms face each other, thumbs are up. You're going to slowly rotate the hands so the thumbs go down, backs of the hands face each other. The right wrist goes over the left wrist, the arms are straight. And then you clasp your hands, lower your shoulders. Slowly start to, with straight arms, lower the arms and hands closer to your body and bring it up. Elbows are out to the side. You could lower the hands here if you'd like, creating a little bit more stimulation in your wrist. And then if you want to do tension release here in the neck, think of the tip of your ear reaching up towards the sky. So long and then side bending. Take one more breath. And then slowly unwind. Take your wrist, shake your wrist. So we're going to come into a back bend here. It's called camel. And the thing about camel, let me show you the full expression of this posture here. So what we're doing here is we're holding on to the feet, bending the back in this position can be the full expression for some, maybe not all. I'd like to suggest that you take your hands here. You try this first, and then for those that know they can come into full camel, could do full camel. Take your hands right here so that the palms are on your pelvis and your fingertips are moving down. The heel of the hand is near the top edge of your pelvis. And you use the heel of your hand to press into the pelvis and to draw the tailbone and the sacrum down. So you draw down, you're helping support the pelvis here when you add that back bend. Because in order to open the front, a back bend is you want the softening in the front of the body to allow that back bend to happen. So if you take your hands here, your feet can be flat or your toes could be bent. For those of you that have a lot of flexibility in your spine, you can reach back and grab your feet if it's appropriate for you. Hands are here. Let's take an inhale, slide your elbows towards each other, or push them towards each other. And then let's come into lifting your chest up towards the sky. That's what you want to do. And then I want you to do this. I want you to say ma da ba da boop, whatever, ba 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 ba, because you want to make sure your head's not back too far. You want your throat to still be able to communicate sound. And if you go too far back, it'll be restricted. So you don't want to go too far back. Lift your heart up. Be in a place where you feel a back bend. Push your hands so your tailbone reaches down. Feel that stretch in the front of your body. Lift your lower ribs away from your pelvis. Elbows towards each other. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out. So camel posture and these back bends can be a little aggravating for the body. We're going to come into twists, which can help to be the counterbalance postures for the back bends. So let's take your blanket and fold your blanket. Probably bigger would be better. Let's fold your blanket and take your
yourself onto the edge of the blanket, and then the other leg, grab a hunk of flesh and move the hunk of flesh. Hunk of flesh, flesh could also be muscles, right? The F word. Okay. Behind you, I'm going to instruct this from the left side first. So you're sitting at the front edge. You've moved your buttock area back, so you're sitting on your sits bones. When you put your hand on the block, it's not a straight arm, and it's not back here to support your body weight. You need to grow straight out of your spine when you do this. So let's take the left leg, hold onto that left leg, and shimmy your way into a really nice straight spine right out of your pelvis. Take your right hand to hold on and support your left leg, and then take your left hand on the block behind you on your fingertips. You're using this to get long your spine. That's what makes spinal rotation safe, is that you are long, and that camel posture we just came out of, that back bend, that you have a back bend in the upper thoracic spine. Then you can rotate safely to create lots of spinal stimulation for bones, for bone strength. Push your right leg into the ground, push your left leg into the ground. That helps to support and turn on the posterior chain muscles. Push your arms down, get tall, inhale. And as you exhale, lower ribs, middle ribs, upper ribs. So you're moving your upper rib cage towards the left. Push your foot into the floor, push your leg into the floor, push your hand into the block, be nice and tall, and push your heart forward. Lower your shoulders. Take one more breath. Let's go to the other side. So let's unbend your legs. Take your hand behind you. Make sure the block is there, move it over, and then take both hands onto the right leg and go from here to here. Use your hands to really help. And then your hand on the block behind you and the fingertips, elbows bent. That also helps to take this out of your body by giving you that opportunity to lift. Be active in your legs and your foot. Press them into the ground. Inhale to get tall. And then exhale, lower ribs, middle ribs, upper ribs. Keep the shoulders lowered. Push the heart, lift the heart. Let the head rotate. Deep breaths down to the belly. Deep breaths. Push your hand